Erik Kuber share their love of all things music and movies. Dean has directed short films and is a music trivia buff. And Erik, trained in audio engineering, brings his extensive knowledge.
Hey!
Happy New Year!
2022. 2022.
Indeed.
Happy 2022.
Yes.
Welcome, one and all, or just us right now, to the.
That's how it always starts,
show.
right?
Yeah, it always starts off a little.
Just come rolling in.
A little low. We got there.
That's
We go.
right.
We got four people actually in. So jump in. Give us a hi. How are you? So we can put your. There's Kelly.
There's
Put
Andy.
You
Hello,
can put
Andy.
You in the wheel of names. Andy. Andrew. Blowing our minds today with Will Wheaton.
Yeah. Yeah, that disturbs me as well. I couldn't believe that.
That
Certainly-
he is the same age now that or actually older than Patrick Stewart was when he started his run as Captain Picard. So, Nick Leshy, Happy New
Zach.
Year, sir.
Hello, Zach. Hello, Elizabeth.
Zach, Elizabeth, I sent you a message on Facebook Messenger. The Iron Man pop is going to be delayed for some reason. It's just a little behind. It's just shipping late. So welcome, Zach. Welcome, Elizabeth. Elizabeth, you won the last time, so you won't be eligible to win tonight. So I'm sorry, but you're
out.
You're out tonight, but we're glad you're here. So yeah, shut up, Wesley. That's actually, I'll be honest with you, that's what turned me off to that show. I was kind of into it in the beginning, but then it just became, he saves the ship every time, and I'm like, all right, that's wearing thin.
Well, they do away with that quick.
They did, but not quick enough because they lost me. I was looking for an exit anyway, and they gave it to me. So if you're here,
any excuse to get out of
I was looking for an exit.
Come on.
After the best episode was too short a season, and then after that I was done.
I remember that because
Yeah.
we were big
Still my favorite
Highlander
episode.
fans. So the guy that was in that episode looks a lot like Christopher Lambert from
Well,
Highlander,
the
right?
guy
Right?
from too short a season was with the guy Clayton Rohner, and he was in a couple of '80s films. He was in
Right, he was getting
just
old.
one
He
of
was
the
taking the
guys,
drug to make him younger.
Yeah, to make himself younger.
Yep.
So yeah, and I'm getting younger.
Carnas.
Exactly.
With those S's at the end, they're
Yep.
very distinct. These guys are method
It was a
actors.
good story. It was a
Yeah.
good story. But
Yeah.
yo, man,
Sean. Hello,
welcome,
Sean.
Welcome,
Christy.
Christy. How is everybody doing tonight? Thank you for joining us. Sean will put you in the wheel of names. Christy will put you in the wheel of names as well. Thank you for joining us on our first live show of 2022. So thank you everybody for joining us. We've got, of course, the shilling to do. Our episode. Well, first of all, thanks to everybody that listened to our Book of Boba Fett Chapter 1 episode. Thank you for that. If you're going to take that journey with us, it's something new that we're doing. So we're watching it, and then we're digesting it and checking it out, and then we're giving you our real reactions, and we're grading each episode.
Recap.
Yeah, so it's
yeah.
kind of a fun thing that we figured. It was literally a last minute thing. I said, and Erik, you want to... I'm running out of ideas for quick hits. Do you want to do the Book of Boba Fett for 7 weeks? And he's like, yeah. I was like, oh.
I had pitched it to Dean a while back, and he
About doing some other ones, yeah.
We'll do something like that. But then, I was like, let's talk about Spider-Man. The new Spider-Man movie, and unfortunately, Dean hasn't seen it yet because he doesn't want to go to the theater. Understandably so.
It's that crazy corona.
It's that coronavirus that's out there. But
it's the corona, but not the beer.
Everybody has seen it, and so we're going to put that one on hold for a bit.
Yeah, possibly this week I may get to it.
Yeah.
But tomorrow, so thank you for Book of Boba Fett. Tomorrow's episode, wow. This was me just kind of gushing. It was. If you want to hear 45 minutes of someone just kind of gushing over something, you'll hear it tomorrow when you check out our episode of U2's 1991 album Achtung Baby.
Yep.
Erik gushes too. Erik actually gushed more about the producers of the album. He was very in tune with the producers and their contribution. Thank you, Nick. Nick loved our. I think he loved our episode, or he loves Achtung Baby. I'm not sure.
Could be both.
Could be both. Maybe he loves Achtung Baby
Yeah.
and our Book of Boba.
Certainly, it was nice to hear again. It's been a while since I put it on, but
Yeah, so that'll be out tomorrow. A great album. It completes our 1991 trilogy, which we didn't know we were doing until we just did that episode and realized that we've done 3 albums from 1991. So that is a perfect bookend and ending to it. And it is like the Return of the Jedi. No, it's better than Return of the Jedi. I think our episode on Achtung Baby is a better. It's more like Last Crusade. It's a good close to the 1991 trilogy. And that might be something we should do. Maybe we should think about a certain year and do.
Well, this year,
a couple of ones, like from a certain year.
Well, I got to tell you, this year is the 40th anniversary of '82, and 1982 was a big year for films. I mean, just the summer alone, we could do something with that if we, that we choose to, or something. Maybe, who knows? But you got E.T., you got all those big poltergeists, you got Star Trek II, we got The Thing, Conan the Barbarian, Tron.
A lot of sci-fi.
Yeah, a lot of stuff.
The way Eric makes it sound, no dramas came out that year.
Well,
World According to Garp all the time.
World According to Garp, and I think Gandhi came out that year, didn't it? Too. Yeah,
so there were some big ones, some
great comedies, coming of age comedies. Fast Times.
Nick seems like he's in. Nick seems like he's in for 82.
Yeah,
he might be down for it. So tonight, what we're doing is we are doing another Monster Mash style thing. We said we were going to do it. Everybody had such a great time. We had a great time with it. I think this one's going to be even more fun because we are doing. We taught. Hey, Mark, still crying.
Mark. He's still crying.
E.T. today. E.T.
was in. It gets you where you live.
E.T. was in town
every time,
and it got him. So what we're doing today is we're drafting our teams for another clash. We're going to be doing a clash of We're going to be pitting actors against actors. So the rules are going to be the same. Tonight we're going to be doing the drafting. We're not going to be doing any voting. We're going to be setting the teams tonight. Okay, so you're gonna see it. We'll go over the rules again, so we're set for the next when we do the actual showdown in 2 weeks. But this was a tough one because, and a couple of people asked me like, "Oh, are you doing the old?" Because when we did the Monster Mash, I did the old monsters and you did the new ones.
Yep.
So someone's like, "Oh, are you doing the old actors? Or are you swapping or whatever?" And I said, no, we couldn't really. It's too hard to figure it out. What to set a year for someone, because then do you say, okay, 1970, does that mean if somebody made a movie in the 60s, they count for me, even though maybe they were just a ham actor and didn't do much, but their debut was then?
Yeah.
It was too kind of...
It's a broad spectrum
crazy.
Of decades, so we picked from...
So what we did instead is we took turns. I picked 3, and I sent Eric my pick, and then he picked 3. And so we took so someone didn't get to just run the table with their 10 first. And the first thing about Actors Draft is we don't talk about it. Well, we're talking about it tonight. We are breaking the rule tonight. And his name was Robert Paulson. So we're gonna be going through we're gonna go through the list. We're gonna run down the list, and then like we did the last time, Eric has a wheel and I have a wheel. So we're gonna be spinning for the matchups. I did not ask. Would Kelly be able to write the matchups down for us, or is she busy?
Is that possible? Will you be able to write down the matchups for us? Yeah, she'll do it.
Celebrity Deathmatch. That's basically what it is with actors. So this is going to be a fun one. So, Eric, why don't you run down? We're going to get going on this. Why don't you run down your first 5 choices that are in numerical order there? So
my first 5 choices. Do you want me to go 5 to 1 or 1 to 5? How do you 5 to 1, baby?
5 to 1. Do it Morrison style. 5 to 1. Whatever, however you want. But again, we're not voting tonight. But we're unveiling our picks. Then we're going to spin the wheels and get the matchups.
Okay. So number 5, I have Paul Newman. Number 4, I have Dustin Hoffman. Number 3, I got Ryan Gosling. Number 2, Tom Cruise, and number 1, Charlton Heston. So there's the first batch right there.
That's the first 5.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to go 5 to 1. Starting with number 5, I have Jack Nicholson, Morgan Freeman. Number 3, Gene Hackman. Number 2, Christian Bale. And number 1, Marlon Brando. Now go. I guess you're going to do your 10 to 6.
My 10 to 6, number 10, Gary Oldman, Gregory Peck, Denzel Washington, James Cagney, and Robert De Niro.
Nice.
Yeah.
My 10 to 6 is Al Pacino. And we made a rule. No one person can have Pacino and De Niro. So
That's
it was
right.
like you're getting one or the other. We were
That's
not
right.
going to stack the deck that way. So my number 10 is Al Pacino. Number 9, Michael Douglas. Number 8, to go against his Cagney, Humphrey Bogart.
Yeah. It's
Number
De Niro
7.
and Pacino. Yeah.
Number 7, Brad Pitt. And number 6, Leonardo DiCaprio. So what we're going to do is we both have wheels, which I will pull up, and we're going to spin for the first matchup. And if you remember the rules, we did 6 rounds, and then that left some wild cards at the end. Or we did 5 rounds, and it left some wild cards at the end. So we're going to do that again, but we're also going to put in a little extra stinger for us. In the Monster Mash, we never got to choose; everything was random. But we're gonna do the we're gonna spin for the first 4, and then we will choose the last one ourselves, and then we'll spin for the two wild cards as well. So thank you,
Okay.
Nick, for interesting choices. Yeah, there's a lot that is left out. So it's kind of when you're thinking about this, it's like, well, there are so many great actors that are left out. But
Yeah.
I was really, Eric was trying to stack his deck, and I certainly was trying to stack my deck. So
And
let's
Jake-
get the wheels going up here.
Jay called me out today, and I picked him up from school. He's like, no, because I told him all my picks, and he's like, you didn't pick Harrison Ford? I'm like, no, I did not.
Yeah,
So,
I don't know if
that's-
I wouldn't. I don't know if I would put him either as in the mix for actors.
Yeah, he's more of like, I love him. He's my hero as a physical actor, I think.
Yeah,
more than
I wouldn't put him against Gene Hackman.
Right.
in a showdown, right?
in a sort of monologue type acting type of thing.
Yes,
Yeah. So,
exactly.
yeah,
So
right.
let me pull up both wheels, and then we'll spin, and we're going to get our first matchups. We're going to be giving away some prizes tonight too. So if you came for the prizes, what we're giving away tonight is we're giving two of the same prize away, but it's it is a complete Blu-ray collection of the Rocky Balboa movies. So it's Rocky 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and the movie Rocky Balboa. So you will get that whole collection on Blu-ray. And we're going to be giving away 2 copies, so 2 people will win that. The range could, we're going to see. It's going to be interesting because we're going to see what the matchups are. So that's going to help determine things as well. So let me get Eric's wheel up, and we'll start spinning. And let me see, screen, window. Whoops. Where is it? I don't know. Where's your tab? Uh-oh. What is going on here? Uh-oh. Interesting. How did we have a little technical difficulty here because his wheel is not showing up, but I may need to do it this way on the fly. Hang on one second. We're going to just vamp and take care of this really quick.
And I'm getting all fuzzy. My camera, we're all
Don't
over
get fuzzy. Don't get
the
fuzzy.
technical difficulties tonight. No.
Let's see.
You might lose me for a second. Hold on a
Okay,
second.
hang on one second. We're gonna be good though. No. All right. One moment. Technical difficulty. Sorry about that. I thought we were prepared, but we were not. We blew it.
There I am. So, did everybody have a nice New Year? We all survived.
Let's see. Okay, let me see if I can get these up again.
I myself was out for the count with that
Yeah,
booster. I got my
well-
booster last week, and it knocked me on my butt. So,
Well, hang on one moment. One more moment. I'm just going to get the images up here. Hopefully we can do this quickly and effectively.
yes, thank you, Sean. I'm no longer blurry. And yeah, it was low key, wasn't it? just like we like it.
Stay with me. Stay with me. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of Eric's. I just got to grab 2 more. Sorry for that. Usually we are really on our game, but not today.
I have it on Blu-ray, Sean. I've been watching them disc by disc, so I don't usually. I mean, it is always a tradition to watch the marathon of Twilight Zone. But yeah, but I like going in order and watching them all. So I'm in the midst of doing that right now. But yeah, I agree, Nick. I hope 2022 is a great one. We're all cautiously optimistic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We got it. Okay, we are ready to go. Sorry about that. So sorry about that delay. That was just that was so unprofessional. Should never have happened. But let's get to going. We're gonna get Eric's wheel up here as well. Hopefully. I think it's this one. Thanks, Andy. Got to get back to work, back to the grind.
There we go. Okay, we've got all of the wheels up here. Oh, Andy's jumping out. Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. Andy is his Metallica. I don't know if you saw the post about his Metallica poster. Wow. What a great reaction to it. It sold out, and the proceeds went to charity, so he did a really great thing for that. It was commissioned by Metallica. They actually commissioned him to do that. And the response was great, and I believe on Instagram he put up that he's going to be auctioning off just a few more on eBay, and those proceeds will be going to charity as well. So thank you. That's so great,
project.
Andy. Yep. Yeah,
proud
absolutely.
of you, my man. Proud of you.
Okay, here we go. Eric is going to spin first. Let's get some of these ads out of the way. There we go. And so how many clicks do you want?
Well, let's go with 4.
1, 2, 3, 4 shuffles, and here we go. This is Eric's number one spot for our Clash of the Actors, and in the number 1 spot, it is Dracul. Gary Oldman is number 1. Eric's first pick is Gary Oldman. We're going to get through this pretty quick. So we're going to remove him. We're going to take Eric out of here. We're going to hide that on the stream. And we're going to put up... Oh. Yep, that's mine. Okay. I'm going to just click... I'm going to do 4 times as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So going against Gary Oldman in the first round of our Clash of the Actor Titans is Gary Oldman versus...
Oh,
Morgan Freeman.
Wow.
Gary Oldman versus Morgan Freeman. That's a matchup. That is a matchup. Are we ready for number 2?
Yes.
All righty. We're going to do number 2 here. Let's get this one out. And Eric in. Oops, that's mine. Sorry. Where did yours go?
Again?
I don't know what's happening. Oh, wait, there it is. Oh, that's mine.
There you go.
There we go. We got it. Okay, how many spins do you want? This
3.
is round number 2. 3?
3.
1, 2, 3 shuffles. And let's see who it's going to be. Oh, wait, this is mine. I'm sorry. No, what is Christian Bale shouldn't be on yours. Sorry about that. Denzel Washington is in round 2. I got to get the Christian Bale out of there. What's he doing there? Sorry about that. Can't
No
get him out of there
worries.
now. Yeah. Okay, so for my number 2, going against Eric. Denzel Washington is his. Is Eric's?
Denzel Washington is mine.
Yep.
So
I'm
now
just
Dean's
gonna
going.
straight up spin. My number 2 going against Denzel Washington is Joker.
Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson
Jack.
versus Morgan Freeman. Versus Denzel Washington in round number 2. Since my wheel is up, I'll just go again. So this is going to be my number 3. This is going to be Dean's number 3. I'm just going to spin. Round 3 for me is going to be Hoo-wah!
Mr. Pacino.
Al Pacino.
Al
For
Pacino.
Dean, round 3. Who is going to go against Al Pacino? Can we get a Pacino De Niro
That would be great.
matchup?
Let's do it.
I got to get
Let's try it.
Christian Bale out of here somehow, though. I don't know what's happening with him. I don't know which one am I missing of yours, Erik?
I don't know. You have your wheel up.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, I got, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Yeah, no, we've got 8. We're good. I just had 1 extra. How many
Okay.
shuffles would you like, if any?
Well, you guys still got your wheel up.
Oh no, I'm gonna switch it out.
Okay.
So let's
Just
show on
spin it.
stream. And we're gonna whoops. Just spin it.
Just spin it. Roll of the dice. Let's do it.
Here we go. This is Al Pacino versus. Can we get a Pacino and De Niro?
Bring the heat, Sean
It
says.
is going to be Pacino versus
Hoffman. Yes.
Dustin Hoffman versus Al Pacino. That's an interesting matchup.
Indeed.
That is an interesting matchup. So since we're still on your wheel, let's go to, this is round number 4, correct?
Yep.
Do you want any shuffles?
No. Just go
We're
for
just
it.
going to spin it.
Yeah.
Here we go. Round number 4. Erik's actor for the Clash of the Actor Titans. Is it going to be almost Cruz? Ryan Gosling. Who would we like to see on mine? Let's take a moment. Who would we like to see Ryan Gosling go up against? What do you think? Hello, Beth.
Leonardo DiCaprio or Christian Bale?
You think so?
I think, yeah, one of those two. Or even Brad Pitt. would
Brad
be
Pitt.
Better. Yeah.
What do you think? Brad Pitt versus Ryan Gosling would be a good matchup?
The two sex symbols, the two titans.
All right, let's see. I'm spinning it too. I'm not clicking. I'm not revamping
Hiya,
it.
Beth.
Michael Douglas.
Michael Douglas. Oh, man.
versus Ryan Gosling.
Wow.
Wow.
That's great.
Okay, that was what was that, 4?
That's 4. Yep.
Okay, that was number 4. So what we have left is we're gonna do 5 rounds, and then we're gonna randomly choose 2 wild cards. But for the 5th round, we're gonna pick who we want. So I will let Erik choose. We've never chosen before. Usually it's been random. So Erik, you can pick out of your there's your choices. You've got Tom Cruise, you've got Heston, you've got De Niro, you've got Gregory Peck, Paul Newman, and James Cagney. This is your opportunity to make sure one of these makes it into the round, because we're going to draw 2 wild cards out of the rest, so there's going to be ones that are left out.
That's right.
Who's it going to be?
I'm going to go with Gregory Peck.
Gregory Peck?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
He's taking Gregory Peck. I thought it was going to be De Niro. I thought you were going to be De Niro all the way.
Yeah, well, no.
Okay. Gregory Peck it is. So for round number 5, it'll be Gregory Peck versus, and who am I going to select? Who will I select? I've got Christian Bale. I've got Marlon Brando. I got Leo. I have Gene Hackman, Brad Pitt, and Humphrey Bogart. Mike Legiro said you should have went with Paul Newman.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yep.
And Sean
is saying you better hope for De Niro in the wild card. Beth is saying Brando, and I'm inclined to go with Brando just to put him against Gregory Peck because they're in the same era.
That's right.
Leo, we've got a Leo vote as well.
Got to respect the elders.
You know what? I'm gonna. Damn it! But there's a couple there I want. It's like, oh man. I'm gonna put Brando versus Peck.
Okay.
Christy is saying Brad Pitt versus Gregory Peck. I think Brando versus Peck is a better but again, with the rules, someone could be substituted as well. Hackman, that's my thing, Dwight. Is I want Hackman on my team as well. Christy, this is way too hard.
It is
I'm
hard.
I'm going with Brando. So that matchup is Brando versus. So Kelly, can you run down what we have? Or it's in here somewhere.
Yeah, we got.
Oh, here we go. Round one
was Gary
Erik,
Oldman.
Erik has Gary Oldman. I have Morgan Freeman.
Round two was Denzel Washington versus Jack Nicholson. 3 was Dustin Hoffman and Al Pacino.
That's a good one.
4 is Ryan Gosling versus Michael Douglas. 5 is Gregory Peck and Marlon Brando. Yep. So now
Sean is saying we have a strong bench either way. So now what we're going to do is we're going to randomly select 2 wild cards. So if you remember the way we did the Monster Mash, there was 4 wild cards, 2 from each team. And we'll go over the rules again for next week, but that's how you're able to substitute based on the rules. When we do our voting, you can leave the voting as is and spin the wheel for a modifier. Or if you want to take out one of the actors and substitute a wild card actor, and then we re-vote again. Esri, welcome. How are you?
Hello.
Welcome. We are finishing up our...
And Dwight Burke, he just came in there out of nowhere.
He came in and he dropped Hackman. He dropped Hackman right on it.
Down.
All right, so we're gonna spin for 2 wild cards. So Erik gets 2 wild cards. So we're gonna put his up on the screen for wild card potentials. Only 2 of these actors are gonna make it: Charlton Heston, Tom Cruise, you dirty rat, James Cagney, The Color of Paul Newman's Money, and Are You Talking to Me, Robert De Niro?
Yeah.
Are you talking to me? Do you want a certain amount of spins, or you just want to go for it?
I just go for it.
This is Erik's first wild card. These guys are going to be on the bench and able to be selected if need be by you in 2 weeks when we play. Erik's first wild card is Tom Cruise is the first wild card. Nice. That's a strong one to have. That is a strong one to have.
I love that woo you get in the applause there.
All right, I'm going to spin. So for me, I've got wild cards. I've got this is a powerhouse. I'm sorry, Erik. Christian Bale, Leo DiCaprio, Gene Hackman, Brad Pitt, and Humphrey Bogart are my wild cards. So I'm gonna shuffle it. There's 5 wild cards. I'm gonna shuffle 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here we go. Dean's wild card on the bench is gonna be not Bale, but Bogey. Humphrey Bogart is gonna be on the bench, waiting to maybe go against Cagney. Possibly he could be slid in by one of the people that show up to the show and choose him to go against it. So we're gonna now pull up your final wild card. Where is it? There we go. So there are 4.
At you, Dean.
Is looking at me. There are four actors left. Only one of these actors is going to make it into the wild card bench. So Paul Newman, James. Cagney's not in play yet, so he might be out. No. He might be frozen out. James Cagney, Charlton Heston, and Robert De Niro. Certain amount of spins you want?
Just go for it.
He's like let the fates, the duel of the fates.
That's right.
Let it take it, and it looks like it's got the potential.
It's
Bogey and Cagney are on the bench.
There you go.
James Cagney and Humphrey Bogart, rivals in films in the 30s and 40s, are now on the bench together as well. That is something. Okay, I'm going to spin for my final wild card, and I've got Gene Hackman, Leo, Christian Bale, and Brad Pitt. I don't think I'm going to lose any, none of these guys I'm going to throw out. So let's spin. Here we go. The final wild card. Lucky Leo DiCaprio is the final wild card on our Clash of the Actor Titans. So Gene Hackman, Christian Bale, and Brad Pitt do not make the cut for me. For Erik, Paul Newman, Robert De Niro somehow
Unfortunately.
did not. And
Sorry, Bobby D.
We're going to get our filthy hands off of that damn dirty Charlton Heston.
Yep.
And he did not make the cut as well. So that is our draft for 2 weeks. So we are going to be having those clashes on January 19th. Like we did with the Monster Mash, I'm going to put this into a document so you can keep track. You will have all the matchups. You will have the rules. And you'll have the wild cards. And like we said, I'll just go over the rules just quickly again for everybody. The matchups are set. So when we meet again in 2 weeks, we will present the first two. You will vote on which actor you think is the one that you vote for. Okay? We will spin the wheel for everybody that's here. And whoever's name is chosen on the wheel will get to play that round, as it were. They can leave the matchup as it is. And then spin the wheel for a modifier, which could take votes away or it could add votes, right? We don't know. Or it could be an instant winner or an instant loser. Or they can choose to replace either one of those actors with somebody from the bench, and then we vote again. Yep. Okay, so it's very simple. Yep. If we leave them in, we spin the wheel and see what we do based on that. Or you take them out, you put somebody else in, and we re-vote. And this is going to be a tough one. These are some matchups, bar none. Absolutely bar none. If you joined us late, thank you for checking out our Book of Boba Fett Chapter 1. We're going to be doing the whole series, so every Monday you will get a new episode about the latest chapter in the Disney Plus series, The Book of Boba Fett. So check that out. If you've got Disney Plus, you can watch the episode. We give you a couple days to digest it, and we do spoilers, so don't think you're going to get away clean on that. Our newest episode coming out tomorrow is the 1991 epic album from U2, Achtung Baby, which we are going to be talking about in depth, and it was really one of the great ones that Erik and I really liked and connected to. So it's just
there it is. That's that gush.
It's a humdinger, is really what it is. It's just one of those things. So
yep.
We appreciate that. So check that out tomorrow. Share all of those great. Share the episodes. Share our posts, like our posts. We appreciate that as well. We are giving away 2 prizes tonight. It is the same prize twice to 2 different winners. It is on Blu-ray. It is the complete Rocky box set. So it is Rocky 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, which I liked Rocky 5. I don't know. A lot of people didn't. I did not have a problem with it. And Rocky Balboa. So it closes out. Creed is kind of exists outside of it, even though Rocky is in it. But the Creed movies are not a part of it, so it's the Rocky collection. We'll be giving away 2 of those on Blu-rays. Thanks, Mike. Thank you for joining us for the first time. We're not done yet, though. We're still have a ways to go. We're not closing up shop yet. Nope. So let's start with the Rocky pictures. Out of those 5 Rockies, which one is the best? Put it in the chat. Let's hear some talk about the Rocky series, because I'm sure somebody could make a case for almost the first 4, any one of the first 4. And Nick is starting off. A mediocre Rocky movie is still a good, fun movie.
I
right?
agree, Nick. Yep, I totally
right?
agree.
That kind of says it all right there. Is even when they, you kind of know what you're getting when you get it, and he didn't really stray too far from the formula. But it is definitely. So which one?
I would say, my favorite, of course, is the original. But then again, it's not the most action-packed, but it does have, it's more of a film, and the rest are just kind of like, he took the franchise to a whole new level in terms of its action. But I do recall one of my favorite movie-going stories is seeing Rocky 2. When it first came out, and I just couldn't believe that was from my experience, bar none, the best movie going crowd that I had. Mm-hmm. I mean, they were into it. People were going nuts in the theater. They had to turn the house lights up because the people were standing on their chairs, and the ushers were like, "Please sit down," but people were like, "Get up, Rocky!" And when he's everybody was screaming.
You know why? Because they took a whole film, which never happens, right? And
Yeah.
and Rocky was the first Rocky was special because he lost.
Mm-hmm.
So, and
Well,
that
it was a
wasn't
tie. Well, he did lose
he
technically.
he lost, like he didn't win.
but he
was
didn't
not,
really lose though.
Yeah.
He,
so everybody kind
gave
of
him a
that
good
saw
fight,
that
yeah.
film and got caught in the mania of it. Like,
yeah.
he didn't win. Like, how do we go to a movie and not see the hero win?
Right. Yeah.
So they had to deliver on that with Rocky 2, right?
I think it was definitely
and Michael
the-
is saying, not Rocky, but Creed 1 with Apollo's son meets Rocky. Creed was a great movie. I really enjoyed
So
Creed. They
it
really
was.
did it one.
Yeah.
John DeGoog, of course, anybody that went to Dobbs Ferry High School in that time, they did screen Rocky in the auditorium. They brought us, I don't know if Eric, I don't know if you were there yet.
No.
But they brought everybody into the high school auditorium. They didn't tell them why. I think it was Mr. McHugh who was the teacher, and they said, "Oh, we have this. We're going to show this film for you." No one really knew what it was, and we all sat there, and they played Rocky in the high school auditorium, like either at the time. I don't remember exactly if it was at the time or when it came out.
Yeah, I definitely wasn't
And
there. but I
and
would've
and
loved
everybody
to have
got
seen
and people still remember that movie going experience, which is really just an incredible thing.
it. But then you got the powerhouse of Rocky 3, though.
See, for me, I'm going to go with Rocky 3.
For me, I think it's the best fight. Like, the choreography of that fight, I think it's the most savage. Mr. T, the way he throws the punches, that's my favorite fight, especially like this. Of course, both of them are great. Like Rocky just, he gets knocked out and whatever. But when he comes back at the end, man, that was so great. So it's the best, but it's also the shortest and the most action-packed. It's like the most, fast-paced one, I think.
Yeah, and you really have to give credit. I mean, Christy's saying Rocky 4 is her favorite.
Yep.
For somebody who's not a choreographer, it's probably some of the most realistic boxing. I mean, it's hyper realistic. Okay, so like the punches that he absorbs and the way like Sylvester Stallone like falls.
Yeah.
But you really I never thought watching any of those movies, oh, that was a fake punch.
Yeah.
Right? I never thought that. I never watched any of them say, oh, that doesn't look real. It looks like they're shadow boxing, or it looks like they're not really hitting.
Yeah, and it's brutal. I mean, it's really,
What's your prediction for this fight?
pain.
Pain.
Christy, I don't know if I think I mentioned
Train
this.
alone, I fight alone, I win the title alone.
We talked about this before. I had mentioned it a couple of times actually, but I don't know if you got to see the recut of
On
Rocky
Amazon
4.
Prime.
It's terrific. It's a much better movie than what it was, which was again very sort of, to me, very lighthearted and very
little
sort of
goofy.
like, it took it to that level of like 80s,
Yeah.
Here he recut the movie, completely eliminated all those goofy moments with the robot and all that stuff, and just made it more about Drago
the fight and everything
it was
surrounding
really,
it.
really well done. I mean,
Yeah.
he did this over the pandemic. This was just a project that he just decided to work on, and I think it's a much better film.
I didn't even.
So
I don't recall. Was there a Broadway musical? It was well done, but I don't remember a single musical number. That's because everything was Adrian. That's every song was oh Adrian, and it was about my turtles. I think he still has those turtles. The turtles are still alive.
Yeah,
from
they
the,
are.
from the first film.
Yes, they are.
So Nick is saying Rocky 3 has the best opening with Thunder Lips. Yeah, I mean, like Rocky 2 gave everybody the ending they wanted, right? He won. He became champ. But then Rocky, it's almost like its own like story arc, right? Because then in 3,
then where do you
he gets so popular and he gets they was handpicked. They was handpicked.
Well, he won, but he's not a good boxer. Rocky. He was never a good boxer. He was just a good.
He could
just
absorb a lot of
piece
punishment, and
iron.
just outlast people. Yeah.
So Apollo taught him how to fight. He taught him how to be a good boxer. And this is, again, the emphasis on Apollo in Rocky 4 as well is really done up much more in the recut as well.
Yeah.
So you get that sense, and of course it ties into Creed much better. It flows into that story too. So
yeah, it makes a lot more sense.
Yeah,
From Mark, Rocky 2, from a drama standpoint, when Adrian wakes up out of the coma, whispers "win" in Rocky ear, and Mickey screams, "What are we waiting for?"
Mickey in that one is great. He's like, yeah. You didn't even see that coming, did you? That was from a broken down pug like me.
Rocky's got a whole bunch. I mean, Burgess
Go
Meredith has
away!
so many great lines. You know,
Go back to the docks where you belong.
he's a killing machine, and you ain't been hungry, and you know, they was hand-picked.
I remember our good friend Craig.
Sean ran the steps in Philly.
When we worked.
Is the statue there?
It's moved.
The statue, they did? It was there, though, right?
They moved the statue. I think it might even be in this museum itself. I'm not sure, but they did move it.
And you have to admit that Rocky's son ages quite rapidly from 4 to 5. Maybe this inspired the film Jack. Yeah. Or maybe he did a reverse Benjamin Button. But he actually used his late son. Unfortunately, his son passed. Sage Stallone was in Rocky 5, so they kind of aged him up a little bit to get him in there, and he did a good job. The son, he did a nice job. He was getting bullied. Like Rocky 5. A lot of people didn't like it, but you gotta hand it to Stallone that he's like, yeah, we can't go back into the ring. So what are we gonna do? You know, and I
it was good for its time.
That. Yeah,
it was good when it came out. It was like it was supposed to be the end. That's it.
Don't I'll sue.
Don't touch me, punk. I'll sue. It served its purpose. You know, I didn't care for the way he was acting. I thought he was I think he was going a little too overboard because of,
they made him dopey. Yeah, like he's got, ooh.
So he went from being civilized to back to the dumbbell from
76.
Right? Yeah, but he really overdid it in the film. I thought he overcompensated, but it was decent.
Yeah,
it was decent.
All in all, it's a solid. I mean, for the amount of movies that they made, right? And it's about one thing. It's about a boxer. So you're really tied to that. I mean, he really was able to really kind of... You got to hand it... Like, he's so underrated, Sylvester Stallone, because everyone thinks he's so dopey or whatever, but he writes these things. He started directing them.
He's talented.
He really knows what he's doing, and you got to hand it to him to take something that really could be one note.
But he's also inspirational. If you ever watch,
if
you see the doc on what he did for Rocky IV, and he's talking about what other director do you know has the opportunity to actually go back into their film and make it better years later, but having that perspective of years going by.
George Lucas.
No,
he didn't make it better.
No.
We're
talking about like a span of like 20, 30 years, and you're going back and you have a completely different mindset. And now you're able to put that back into the film and make it and change the whole tone.
Yeah.
And
not be so married to, don't touch my film. Zach brings up a good point that the Rocky speech in Rocky Balboa to his son, you can find that on the internet. It's not about how hard you get hit and how many times you get knocked down, but how many times you get up. Very inspirational.
It'll beat you down. And I cried. We're both crying in the theater.
Dude, man, you gotta...
Hey,
crying.
Hey, take my son to see this thing, and there you go.
Zach, did you cry during this? Zach, did you cry during this speech as well? Do you tear up as easily as your father does?
He does.
He does. Okay.
I'm gonna throw him under the bus.
So listen. The reason why we're amping this up is we're going to be giving away 2 Rocky collection box sets, and that's Rocky 1 through 5 and Rocky Balboa, because Rocky Balboa was not numbered, but that would be number 6, I guess. So we'll be giving 2 copies of that away on Blu-ray. Even more so. He cries even more. Wow, he's like Erik amped up. Erik times 2 tears. But
I get emotional at the right time, though. It's like I can cry all the time. I get more angry than anything else.
Well, so we're gonna reconvene on Wednesday, January 19th, right? And we're gonna have our clash. We're gonna be doing trivia. We're gonna have the prizes. We'll be amped up. So we'll be giving away a lot more stuff. So make sure you invite your friends, or if you want to be greedy and have a better chance of winning, I guess don't invite your friends, because I guess the less people, the better. But that's not what we're looking for. We want as many people to start joining our live shows as possible, and spread the word and get it out there. That's going to be a lot of fun. We are going to do the trivia, and it will be movie and actor-related trivia. So I don't know if you want to try and study up and try and outmaneuver us with the questions we're going to have. Erik is a stickler for really tough Mensa style questions, like IQ, beautiful mind IQ style questions. So He's going to be bringing the fire, and like we did the last time, the questions are going to get harder as the rounds go. So we will start with the easy stuff, and then we'll get to Erik level by questions 4 and 5. So it's
It's true level.
Sean's like, bring it. He's ready for movie trivia. He's ready for movie trivia. So that's what's going on there. We're going to close this one up a little short tonight because we got everything we needed to do out of the way. We got the drafting out of the way. The teams are selected. Like I said, I'm going to put that into a scorecard, which has the rules. It'll have the matchups. It'll have the wild cards. We'll post that on the group now that we have a group, and we'll post it on our 3324 homepage as well. So you can either download it or have it with you and play along and keep score as well. So I think that's going to do it for this one. It's a pretty short one.
We got to give away those box sets first.
Yeah, we're going to give away the box sets. Oh, of course.
Okay, so let's do it.
Well, I'm not going to keep 2. So we will. If you are the winner, we will need you to reach out to us via Facebook and give us your address, and we will have that sent out to you directly, shipped right to your house via Amazon. That's our new way of doing things instead of me buying it and then resending it out. So that was just weird. I don't know why I did that. I have to do that for our swag. I think we may be. Oh, and one other thing too. We are getting close to our 1-year anniversary. We're trying to plan something in person and live. Yeah. We're trying to have a meetup in Westchester. Things being what they are, it's kind of in flux with the pandemic and how things are spreading or not spreading. By February, could things change? I certainly hope so. We've got a lot of stuff planned.
You guys want to come out? I mean, certainly wouldn't want to ask you to come out to not take a risk or whatever. That's perfectly fine. We totally understand. So like Dean said, but hopefully we'll get to see some faces pretty soon. So that's the plan, is to have a meetup celebration. We were thinking about doing a live podcast right there, but I think it just might be more fun to give some stuff away. We've got a lot of swag. We've got some special 1-year anniversary swag that we had made as well. So we're ready to give stuff away and to celebrate our 1-year anniversary. Hopefully, might have some trivia.
Of course, trivia. Always there'll be trivia. We'll have the wheel. We'll have the wheel not in person, but virtually as well. But it'll be there, and we'll have a lot of fun. And we can interact. And knock back a couple of adult beverages or whatever you want to drink. If you don't, we'll do that, and we'll have a lot of fun and just celebrate and thank everybody personally in person too, if you can come out and do it, and if Andy can come up from Florida. So Elizabeth and I would definitely be there. So that means you're not coming. That means you would be there, but you're not. So is that already out?
Well, I mean, I think hopefully
I'm a stickler
for terms,
for tense. Yeah. I'm the stickler for tenses. But we would love to see you in person. So that's something we're planning. Again, it's in our hands, but it's kind of out of our hands. We're going to plan it to go forward with it, and then caveat it with, things may change. And then if we have to do it virtually, we will do it virtually, but we will make it an extravaganza for our 1-year anniversary, and it'll be a way to thank everybody. So, is everybody ready to try and win something? Unfortunately, Elizabeth Berg is not eligible, and so
take Kelly off the board because we
take Kelly off the board.
Kelly
was not on the board.
Okay, but we already have that box set.
So this is who I have. Just make sure I didn't miss anybody. I've got Sean, Mark, Michael, Beth, Nick, Zach, Andy, Dwight, and John DeGug. Cue the Rocky music. Sorry, can't do it very well. And Nick, go for it. Do it. Nick is saying to everybody else, "You will lose." So let me pull up the wheel of names on our screen.
Oh, Christy. Christy's like, what the F?
Oh yeah. Christy, there you go. WTF. Oh, I didn't put the whammies in too. I'm so out of control. I'm so uncoordinated right now.
Oh, he's fine. You're fine.
What are you, Mud? Well, we can make your name Mud.
What am I, Mud?
You got Mud.
Sean, if he wins, he wins. There you go.
That's it.
The right attitude.
That's the Nick. If he wins, he wins. If he dies, he dies.
I must break you.
You will lose. Such great quotables. Such great quotables. All right, let's get the wheel of names up here. There's only one wheel of names now, so it'll be much more manageable. And it won't be this disaster show earlier. I apologize for all the, if he dies, he died.
He died. He died.
And it was that, you know what, Rocky IV was just so like, because there was such that anti-USSR sentiment in the country going on at the time.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh, the Russian, versus the American, and he goes to Russia and they mistreat him, right? They don't give him the facilities. He's got to pull the logs and run in the snow, and and then Drago's hitting the computer screens and punching the electronics. And then of course America, he brings everybody together on Christmas Day with his speech.
They changed that in the new cut. So check it out.
He gets killed.
No, he doesn't get killed, but there's a little bit of a change there, which for the better and more realistic. Let's put it that way.
If it's more realistic, they send Drago to the gulag because he lost, and he escapes finally. And in Creed 2,
I think that's what Creed 2 is about. Is him like, you ruined my life.
He's coming back.
Yeah.
So always sad when Apollo dies. I don't know. Yeah. I think they fixed it in Rocky IV a little bit more. Right? They made that fight a little bit longer.
Everything is. I mean, they.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they kind of, that was a little too one-sided. Like, yes, it illustrated that Drago was just like a destroyer of men, like that he would just pummel, Apollo that quickly. But
yeah, it's like a robot.
Quick question: was Sean Penn, Robert Redford, or no? Redford was on my list, so that's a good. That's a really good question. Is there are some notables that didn't make it? Robert, when I saw Erik sent me Paul Newman, it made me immediately think of Redford. I'm like, wow, Redford.
I thought about Redford too, but
Sean Penn, not really. Christopher Walken, not really. Although those are great ones. Matt Damon. I mean, there are so many actors. Robert Duvall was on my long list actually.
Yeah, I mean, there's just a lot that
Dennis Hopper. There are so many actors that couldn't make it, but. So, and that was the challenge, is for us to pick 10, and then our next one, or we will do an actresses one too. So we're gonna, we're gonna be pitting them as well.
Jimmy
Stewart,
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks. I thought for sure. I didn't pick Tom Hanks in my list because I thought Erik was gonna pick Tom Hanks. I'm like, oh, let me leave it. Kevin Costner was on my longer list as well. So, there are so many actors that are just not going to, and even Erik said Harrison Ford. You know what? He could make the list maybe just as you could put him against somebody as that people think people like him so much that he might win versus somebody, even though he's not a better actor. You could pick a favorite like that and he could win. There were so many. There was too many that it was hard. It was really hard, and
I overlooked quite a bit, but it's just
look, Jack Lemmon,
obviously I picked some of the actors from some of my favorite films too, so that had a factor, and the consistency of movies too. Sometimes some of these actors will make one or two great ones, and then they kind of just fade away or whatever.
Yeah, so. Sean Penn, that's an oversight,
Yeah,
I stayed away from Christopher Walken because I haven't perfected my impression yet, and I don't want to do anything with Christopher Walken until I can do him in a really good way. So we're gonna stay away from any Walken until one of us gets the impression down. Then we're gonna then we'll do all Walken all the time. But so many actors that we could have had that just Harvey Keitel. There's just so many ones that classic actors that were just in it to win it, but we really, I was thinking, for me, this is the cream of the crop for me. I think what I have was the cream of the crop, like Brando and
of course
Bogart,
these are the big guns too. We kind of focus more on the big guns, because it's an easier.
Edward Norton was left out of the list if you're talking about recent actors.
I would go with people like Peter Falk.
Spencer Tracy.
I mean, you really dig deep, and you get a lot of actors that didn't quite make it to be that A-list type actor, but they're great actors.
But are formidable.
That
are still formidable. Yep. Absolutely. So that was Mark. That was a great question because Redford was on my short list, and I'm like, I was trying to think. I'm like, well, I don't know who would he go up against that he would win. As great as of an actor as he is, I was like, Ray Fiennes was another one that I thought about. So there's just too
I
many.
was on the fence about Tom Cruise, but I figured, you know what, love him or hate him, he's a good actor. He has proved his worth in terms of when I think of him in like Jerry Maguire and Vanilla Sky and some of those roles that just, now he's Mr. Action Star, but it's like, but when he could do a good drama and a good sort of dramedy kind like Jerry Maguire's.
Yeah.
Like,
Absolutely. He's versatile. It's just that he chooses to pigeonhole himself and put him in. And, Dwight Anthony Hopkins was on my list and was removed. So there were some sacrifices that had to be made, and Dr. Frederick Treves from the Elephant Man was put on the sacrificial altar. So are we ready to? We're ready to spin, I think.
I think so. Yeah.
Roberta Russell just joined us, so she is eligible to win too. Roberta, hopefully you're on Facebook as well, because we're going to need, if you do win the Rocky box set, we're going to need to contact, or you can probably contact us from YouTube as well. So, Roberta, for your benefit, we are giving away 2 copies of the Rocky collection on Blu-ray. That's Rocky 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and Rocky Balboa. If you are the winner, you will need to contact us either via Facebook, or you can probably send us a message on YouTube with your address so we can send it to you. So thank you for joining us. Here we go. We are ready to spin the wheel. I think we've got everybody. Last call. Mud is Christy. Because she said, what am I, mud? I'll fix it.
Come on. That's just wrong.
There we go.
There you go.
How many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11?
11, yeah.
All right, so we'll do 6. We'll do half of that, approximately, without fractions. We'll shuffle 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And here we go. Spinning for a copy of the Rocky collection on Blu-ray. Zachary.
Zachariah.
Zach, we have a winner. Congratulations, Zach. I will need you to get on Facebook and message us so I can get your address so we can have that sent out to you directly. We are going to shuffle 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Why? I have no idea. This is for another copy of the Rocky collection on Blu-ray. I'm assuming everybody has a Blu-ray player. If not, you're going to have to just, Michael Legiro, congratulations. You have also won a copy of the Rocky collection on Blu-ray. I better not see it for sale on Facebook.
Wow. We kept it in the family tonight.
Yeah, it happens.
There you go.
Everyone's eligible. It is a randomizer, so there is no way to gimmick that. So you are quite welcome, Zach. Thank you. Nick is congratulating everybody as well. Sean, congrats. So congratulations to Zach, and congratulations to Mike, winners of the Rocky collection on Blu-ray. So enjoy that in good health. Thank you for everything. Again, tomorrow we've got U2 Achtung Baby coming out, which will close out our 1991 trilogy. We actually realized at the beginning of the podcast that we did 3 albums from 1991 for different reasons. And we have now committed to not do anything else from 1991. It'll be Dwight saying the Blu-ray will be on sale at the counter behind the doghouse at Cedar Street. Thank you, Kelly. It was a fun show. It was a little short. We got to business quickly, but we got our drafts done. Like I said, that'll be posted. Book of Boba Fett, episode 2 will be coming out Wednesday. So the great thing is, if you haven't seen episode 1 and you're getting caught up, you can listen to each individual recap on its own and not listen to the whole thing at once and have to, I can't watch it. I can't listen yet because I haven't seen it. So you can kind of catch the first episode, get our first one, and get caught up with us.
Drop today on Disney Plus, and check out our next episode next Monday.
Yep. For chapter 2. Thank you, John.
Recap of chapter 2. Yep.
We appreciate it. Thank you, Christy.
Thank you, Christy.
We've got some great matchups coming up. That's going to be the thing. We're going to need your participation for it. In closing, the show is yours. When we have our show in 2 weeks, that is your show to vote on these matchups, to spin the wheel. I'd like to hear why. I think it would be fun to put a movie in, in the matchups, I think with your vote, I think it would be fun to put in a movie that you're thinking of what makes this one the one you would vote for.
That'd be
so
great.
Thank you. Dwight is saying episode 2 is superb. We are going to save our opinions until Monday. You will not hear us talk about it, and Erik is not going to give away any facial tells or giveaways either. He's got a poker face, so I don't know how he felt about it. So we're gonna leave it there. We're gonna let everybody go. Thank you again. We will see you in a couple of weeks. We're gonna have a lot of trivia. We'll have more. We'll amp up the prizes, and I think we're gonna do our outro. So
take care, guys.
Take care, everybody.
Stay safe.
Thank you, and we will see you on the flip side.
You've been listening to the 3324 podcast with Dean Legiro and Erik Kuber. You can find us on your favorite podcast provider, so please like, subscribe, and rate to become a part of the 3324 family. Your feedback is important, so make sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook at 3324 podcast and on Twitter at 3324p to join the conversation.